In the East, the 23rd day of the third lunar moon marks a sacred dawn, the birth of Mazu. Across countless shores, incense rises in grand cathedrals of stone and wood to honor the goddess of the tides, the eternal guardian of every soul adrift upon the waves. Yet, before she commanded the storms, she was but a mortal girl, devoted, silent, and kind. How did a simple daughter of the coast ascend to become the celestial light of the sea, revered by millions through the centuries? Allow me to unveil the legend of Mazu. A millennium ago, in a humble coastal village of ancient China, a merchant named Lin paced anxiously as he awaited the birth of his child. Suddenly, a celestial crimson light descended from the heavens, bathing the home in a divine glow. A daughter was born, but she was no ordinary babe. While others greeted the world with cries, she met every soul with a radiant, joyful smile. A month passed in a serene silence. Not once did she shed a tear or raise a cry. Her kin named her Monyang, the Silent One, for she was a soul of profound peace and quiet grace. Monyang's father and brothers often ventured far across the tides, but the sea is a fickle master, hiding predatory storms beneath its indigo veil. Each time their sails vanished into the horizon, a heavy shroud of worry fell upon the home. While others watched the skies with trembling hearts, Monyang sought a different path. In the hallowed silence of the family shrine, Monyang would kneel and praise for their safe return through the chaotic waters. Once more her family ventured into the hungry tides again, but as the heavens turned to charcoal, frantic whispers reached the shore. The storm has coming. The sea is claiming the fleets. Panic struck Monyang's heart like a thunderbolt. She knew her loved ones were in the belly of the beast. Casting herself before the ancient altar, she bowed her head in a vow that shook the spiritual realm. If my life be the price for their safe return, then let the tides take me. I offer my soul as their bridge home. Suddenly, Monyang's spirit transcended her mortal frame. Her body collapsed into a death-like stillness, leaving her mother in a storm of grief, shaking her cold hands and crying out to the silent heavens. Then, with a gasp that shattered the silence, Monyang's soul returned. Her eyes snapped open, but as her mother embraced her in relief, the girl wept in silence. For she had seen a tragedy that words could not touch, a shadow of loss that even gods could not mend. Across the raging abyss, my spirit fought the tides. I held my brothers in my arms and gripped my father's belt with my teeth, weaving a bridge of soul to pull them from the jaws of the deep. But your cries, mother, they reached into the void and pulled at my heart. To ease your grief, I opened my mouth to answer, and father slipped into the devouring dark. I have brought back my brothers, but the sea has claimed my father. Though Monyang had never left the room, her hair was matted with brine, and her crimson robes clung to her skin, heavy and drenched as if she had just stepped out of the heart of a hurricane. It was then they realized Monyang's boundless devotion had stirred the heavens, allowing her spirit to transcend the flesh and fly across the raging abyss to snatch her kin from the very jaws of death. As the years bloomed, Monyang chose a path different from all others. Forsaking the ties of earthly marriage, she remained by her mother's side, her heart drawn to the silent wisdom of ancient sutras. She balanced filial love with celestial study until the boundaries between her soul and the divine dissolved. In a moment of absolute clarity, her spirit transcended the mortal realm, ascending through the golden mists to become the eternal goddess. From that day forth, whispers of her grace spread like the rising tide. When sailors found themselves lost in the belly of a storm, a vision would appear. A tiny, radiant goddess in crimson robes standing upon the raging crests to guide them toward home. At her touch, the monstrous waves fell silent and the chaotic winds bowed in reverence. Knowing they were watched over by the soul of Monyang, the people raised grand temples in her honor, enshrining her as Mazu, the eternal Empress of the heavens, the mother and guardian of the seas. From a devoted daughter to the eternal guardian of the seas, Monyang's compassion stilled the fiercest tides. May her light find a way into your own journey, guiding you through the storms of life. Be sure to subscribe to explore more legends that touch the soul.